Hi, I'm here today to talk about the general principles of active listening. There are really three key components of active listening. There's body language, verbal techniques, and etiquette. And I'll be covering all of those in today's video. But first, I'd like to share a story with you. I worked for a television station for many years, and I was one of the executives. And every week, we would have an executive planning meeting where we'd all come together in a conference room and we'd share what was going on in our departments, share what our projects were, what our goals were for the week, what our needs were from the production side of the business. And I now started to notice some very interesting things going on in those meetings. I was observing all of the key players. And one of the things that I observed were there were people who dominated the meetings. They were the talkers. They always had a lot of good ideas, a lot of energy. They talked a lot. They wanted to be heard a lot. Then there were the listeners. There were the people who were actively listening, really paying attention, really absorbing what other people were sharing, really interpreting it, and responding appropriately at appropriate times during the conversation. And then there were the people who were simply hearing the conversations. They were hearing, but they weren't actively engaged in the conversation. And one of the things that I noticed over time was the people who got promoted, the people who were really highly recognized by the president of the organization, were the active listeners. They were the people that were engaged, were really paying attention to other individuals, were taking time to interpret the meaning of other people's messages and responding at appropriate times, and weren't trying hard to be heard, but instead were working hard to hear other people. Those were the most successful people at that television station. They not only used their body language and their verbal techniques, they used etiquette in the conversation to really engage with the people who were speaking. Now, learning and practicing body language, verbal techniques, and etiquette will help you to master active listening skills and will result in engagement. In other words, they will result in you having the ability to make a positive connection with another person.